Samsung might bring more products than even we were expecting for its Galaxy Unpacked, but not all seems to be good news. Reports of some creative moves that Apple might bring with the iPhone 18 sound interesting for Apple Intelligence. Samsung might have its Galaxy glasses ready for you soon, assuming it's something you haven't seen before. And yes, Samsung's Galaxy S27 lineup might launch with more perks than we heard before. I'm Jaime Rivera, and it's time for these 7 topics condensed into 4. This is Tech Briefing powered by MediaTek. All right, what Samsung is doing with its first pair of smart glasses might be either smart or just too conservative. See, the company's upcoming Galaxy glasses have leaked in much greater detail, leaving nothing to the imagination, and well, let's just say I'm kind of mixed. New videos reportedly sourced from Samsung reveal a design that closely resembles the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, featuring slim Wayfarer-style frames, though sure, with a bit more of a nerdy look because, yeah, they're developed in partnership with Warby Parker. The thing is, unlike future Android XR glasses expected to include in-lens displays, these appear to skip it. Which, yeah, makes you wonder how they're going to set themselves apart from what you can already buy right now with Meta. Heck, we even hear the Dental Monster collaboration is pretty much the same when it comes to functionality, so yeah, that sounds kind of predictable. As for controls, there's a touchpad on the right arm allowing users to adjust volume, control media with a swipe gesture, while a dedicated shutter button captures photos or starts video recordings with a long press. LED indicators both on the inside and outside of the frame notify the wearer and people nearby whether a recording is active. Exactly. Pretty much like Ray-Ban Metas. Listen, maybe the benefits lie in the software. I mean, the glasses are expected to work with any Android phone, but Samsung devices will offer deeper integration, including the Now Bar support that instantly displays captured photos and videos on the paired Galaxy smartphone. I mean, we saw how the Google demos pair really well with the Google Pixel Watch at the time at Google I/O, so I wonder if this same functionality will come with the rumored Galaxy Watch that's coming. I mean, previous leaks also revealed a companion application and a charging case, which is also bulky. I mean, it seems like if this is something we've already seen, with the exception it doesn't work with an iPhone, so that's going to be interesting. But let me know what you think in the comments. So what do you know? Samsung seems to be changing course with the Galaxy S27 yet again. If you remember, we recently discussed that the company was going to look for cheaper displays from BOE for the base and plus model and bring privacy display to the Pro, but that seems to have been scratched for the good. I mean, instead, it seems the company wants to treat its less expensive models better. According to new leaks, every model of the Galaxy S27 series, including the base model, Plus, Pro, and Ultra, will feature privacy display technology. Clearly, this whole idea of covering selective parts of your panel for others to view has become so popular that we even hear it'll become an industry-wide feature, with brands like Xiaomi, Honor, Oppo, and Vivo reportedly developing similar technology for their flagships. That being said, it seems Samsung is planning some extra changes when it comes to photography. We hear the Galaxy S27 Pro and Galaxy S27 Ultra are rumored to receive a new 16-megapixel selfie camera, and I'm wondering why the odd count. I'm hoping that means we get a square functionality sensor like we do on iPhones, but we'll see. We also hear the 50-megapixel ultra-wide and telephoto might get some improvements as well. At this point, the potential Pro model is sounding like a more compact version of the Ultra than ever, even if it might mean no S Pen support, though I'm hoping it does allow for an external one. Which one would you pick out of all these phones? Let me know in the comments. I think the best way to prove that there is a RAM and storage crisis is when companies start getting creative about their numbers. See, usually increments work in doubles or similar multiples, like let's say 2, 4, 8 gigs of RAM, or 12, 16, and 24 are the interesting ones. But the thing is, it seems Apple is getting, again, creative for its next iPhones. According to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, both the iPhone 18 and 18e will feature 9 gigs of RAM, up from 8 in previous generations, proving the company is finding, again, solutions for broader Apple Intelligence support on less hardware, and which could mean not much of a price increase, we're hoping. Obviously, once you go up the food chain, things are different. The iPhone 18 Pro, Pro Max, and the rumored iPhone Ultra, in addition to the possible iPhone Air 2, are expected to keep the 12 gigs of RAM. Obviously, the question is if features like the more expressive Siri and improvements to on-device voice dictation will remain exclusive to the 12 gig models, or if exceptions will be made to the 9 9 gigs. We're hearing of $100 to $200 possible price increases for the next iPhone, so the functionality would help justify the cost. Another report suggests Apple is pulling a Samsung and splitting its hardware approach depending on regions, but in this case it means modems. Leaked manufacturing documents indicate that the United States versions of the iPhone 18 Pro could continue using Qualcomm's modems to support millimeter wave 5G, while the international models may adopt Apple's more power-efficient in-house C2 modem. Now, although Qualcomm's modem enables faster peak 5G speeds, Apple's C2 is expected to deliver better battery efficiency, and listen, I've experienced better reliability from Apple's approach in crowded areas like concerts. If accurate, the move would mark another major step in Apple's gradual transition away from Qualcomm while still meeting the networking requirements from US carriers. The iPhone 18 Pro models and Apple's first foldable iPhone are currently expected to launch this fall, so let me know which one are you picking, or like most, in the comments. Now, before we get to the hottest news, let me tell you about today's sponsor, MediaTek. This is the third year where Motorola chooses Dimensity for its most beloved razor, and I can see why. The first and second base razor proved to be great in performance and endurance, and this 2026 razor has only gotten better with the Dimensity 7450X and its advanced 4nm architecture. Seriously, this phone has got the looks, has the feel, but then all this is matched with snappy performance, reliable connectivity, and even better endurance on its slim form factor. It's clearly the reason Motorola continues to trust MediaTek year over year. Thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. Now, maybe the hottest news so far come from Samsung and what to expect for the company's Galaxy Unpacked. First, it starts with the recent leaked dummy units of the Z Fold8 showcasing the device in its graphite finish. The design closely resembles the Galaxy Z Fold 7, retaining its flat sides, a slim profile, and a vertically aligned camera module, but as we've heard for months, introducing a noticeably wider and shorter form factor for a more practical cover display. Now, the dummy also suggests a dual camera setup with a 50-megapixel main sensor and a 50-megapixel ultra-wide, while maintaining the familiar button layout and USB-C port. Now, this is probably the biggest change as we hear the taller and more legacy Z Fold 8 Ultra along with the Z Flip 8 will most likely be spec bumps. Now, we also hear we're getting wearables, and the company has pretty much confirmed them to a certain degree, at least when it comes to names, and it seems there will be more than the two that we expected. The Galaxy Watch 9 and Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 are the two watches that it seems are coming, with some of the leaked designs that we discussed weeks ago pretty much making sense. Now, what is new in details is the chips. The Watch 9 apparently sports the company's Exynos W1000, while the Ultra 2 is reportedly powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear Elite chip, and the display on the Ultra goes up to 5,000 nits apparently. Now, another interesting leak is of a new Galaxy Able, which is the company's first pair of clip-on earbuds, but with a different twist. It seems Samsung is making these with bone conduction technology instead of the traditional speakers, which affects quality but also makes them more useful in crowded scenarios. I find it to be useful, but then last but not least is pricing, and well, that does seem to be not good, at least for Europe. The Z Fold 8 starts at $19.99, the Z Fold 8 Ultra slated for $21.99, Z Flip 8 for $12.99, and then the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 $749, Galaxy Watch 9 for $409, though details are pending on the Able earbuds, and we know usually prices are pretty much matched in the United States in numbers, even if we know the exchange rate is not the same. Now, in today's question, let me know, what do you think of these price points versus what you could be getting from Samsung? Because, in my opinion, they're rough, but it's not like if the entire industry is not heading in that direction. I'm curious to know what you think in the comments. Friends, again, thank you so much for joining on this new episode of Tech Briefing. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as I'm sure you've seen me try to respond to as many as I can. Also, follow me on social media as more behind-the-scenes work continues to happen there. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.